I want to remind the board and the community that U.S. history and U.S. government are both graduation requirements. Constitution Day is September 17th, and it's been a federal law since 2005 that any public institution that receives federal funding must deliver a lesson about the Constitution on that day. It's called the Consolidated Appropriations Act of 2005. You can ask any history teacher in the district. We can tell you that. I promise we'll stop indoctrinating the kids long enough to explain how federal legislation works. 3.18, the Sunrise Children's Foundation. This is an excellent program that keeps young parents in school, and it should be supported and continued for the betterment of our society. We know that childcare accessibility is a huge issue in our society, and I would like to see this continue and possibly even expand in the future. That keeps our young mothers educated. I'm going to skip to 3.39 and then come back. 3.39 is policy 5131. It is the dress code for students. I'm glad that the guidelines have been updated to be more inclusive of the Crown Act in regards to hair, which again is federal legislation. However, I want to put it into the record that it's absolute garbage that a trustee would sit here last meeting and claim that people should dress according to gender. There's no need to force people into clothing that doesn't suit them because of slanted ideology. We've seen very clearly that wearing camouflage doesn't exactly make someone a competent soldier. The last two I want to talk about, and this is where I go off book because I ran out of time to type my comments. 3.20 and 3.21, the unified and licensed personnel. There are 3 people who got hired in the licensed personnel, and there are 22 pages of licensed personnel who have left the district. More than 15 of those said that they were dissatisfied with the district, and I say more than 15 because if you go and count down, it says 15 exactly on the list, but I know at least 6 people who declined to give a reason, who were dissatisfied or wanted to say something that was not provided in one of the reasons for why they were leaving the district. 22 pages. And I know in a district this size that every May and June, we're going to see people leave. You're going to have people retire. You're going to have people return to school. You're going to have people, for whatever reason, they're done being a teacher. And I get that in a district of over 18,000 teachers, that's going to happen. But 22 pages is no longer an anomaly in these board documents. 22 pages is pretty common at this point. We're losing hundreds upon hundreds upon hundreds of teachers. We can't even fully staff my summer school right now because there's no one available. We are scrounging. Admin are trying to play fast and loose with teacher licenses just to get people. That is not serving our kids. That is not serving our teachers. I've stood here month after month, and I've told you about me having to teach a math class because we didn't have enough teachers, right? I've stood here and talked to you about having to teach a Spanish class when I'm Duolingoing my way through the night before so that my kids at least had some semblance of normalcy. When they went into a Spanish class, they would at least be doing something in Spanish. That is not helpful for our kids who deserve a quality education, and it's not helpful for our quality educators who are burnt out. I am so tired when I go home. I teach summer school because our health insurance is so poor that I need to continue working, because when it comes to insulin for a diabetic, it is literally life or death. And this district, at some points, it feels like it's literally killing us. And I know plenty of fine educators who have left because they have that option to leave, to get onto a spouse's insurance, to even return to their parents' insurance. I don't have that option. My option is to work so that I don't die. Or when I see my rent go up 20%, when half my outlets still don't work, but my paycheck doesn't. I just finished year 10, and I'm going to be making on par with almost a brand new teacher because of the policies that are set in place, right? As a student in America, let me go over some data. October 1st, 1997, my friend John's niece, Lydia, was shot and killed at Pearl High School in Pearl, Mississippi. Right. When I was in 3rd grade, we heard about Columbine. When I was a junior in high school, I was on a college visit in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, when nickel mines happened, and the campus went on lockdown because we were 6 miles from the site of that shooting. Later on, my junior year, Virginia Tech happened. December 14th, 2012, it was my first year teaching. It was my first snow day as a teacher. I was sitting with my friend. We were making goodie bags for her 5th grade class when we heard about Sandy Hook. And just a few weeks ago, as I finished my 10th year in the classroom, we heard about Uvalde, Texas. My entire academic career, from the time that I can remember, has been filled with wondering when the next school shooting was going to happen. In 2018, it happened at my high school. A student at Canyon Springs bled out on our baseball field when he was shot in the chest after school. Wasn't considered a school shooting because it was after school. It was considered gang related, but still one of my students bled to death on our baseball field in front of his friends, and nothing was done. And then when we see Uvalde, when we hear that children were shot so badly that they were decapitated, that they were identified by the drawings on their sneakers, we have a trustee making jokes and saying, oh, this is liberal propaganda, and that it's not the gun's fault. I don't want to live in a society, I don't want to teach in a society where I look at my kids every day and wonder if that's the day that it's going to happen on my campus. And it's not just because I'm over emotional. I hear that stuff all the time. It's because last board meeting, people from my children's advocates stood out on that sidewalk with a megaphone, listed my name, listed my school, and told them that they were going to show up. My school. And then the people in the comments, including a trustee sitting on that board, were liking that status and joking and making fun of my kids and saying it was a useless school. Guess what? Not a single kid at Canyon Springs is worthless. Not a single one of my coworkers is worthless. When you threatened me, you threatened every single person on that campus. And I knew from the moment I stepped foot into my first classroom, I would protect my kids, even if that meant that I would die for my kids. And all my teacher friends would do the same. But I'm not willing to die at the hands of neo-Nazis who stand out on that sidewalk and scream. I'm not willing to die at the hands of trustee candidates who come up here and don't know what they're talking about, but think because I'm gay, I'm a danger to their kids. My kids are safe in my room because I am the person that I did not have when I was 16 and I wanted to die because I did not know my way out of a closet. And they have threatened me, and they have threatened my kids, and they have threatened my community. And that is not going to happen. Not on my watch.